So, Valve is pretty notorious for not being able to count past 2 in anything. Half-Life, Portal, Left 4 Dead. It's a joke that's just about been done to death. And I don't think half the people who talk about this even know what they're talking about, because Portal 3 has no need to exist, because Portal 2 wraps up the characters nicely, and the custom test chamber feature means the game can theoretically live forever if it wants to. And it's the same for Left 4 Dead 2, which you could argue didn't even really need to exist in the first place. Team Fortress 2 is a thriving online community, and it's already what some could argue is a perfect game. But Half-Life 2 Episode 2 ends on a devastating cliffhanger, and it hasn't been resolved in almost 20 years at this point. But people don't realize that Half-Life 3, or Half-Life 2 Episode 3, already exists. It's just not a game. And I'll leave the Wikipedia article for the full story of what happened to Episode 3 in the description. I'm not going to go into detail in this video. Epistle 3 is a short story published by former Valve employee and science fiction writer Mark Laidlaw. It was released in 2017, about 10 years after Episode 2 of Half-Life, and has since been taken down. Laidlaw citing that he regretted publishing it. It follows the story of one Gertie Fremont and how she and her friend Alex Vaughn used a research vessel called the Hyperborea to destroy the invasion nexus of the disparate empire. The link I used to download the story from came with a corrected version that replaced all of the names with their Half-Life 2 counterparts, and for the sake of it being easier to explain, I will be referring to them as such. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'll leave a link to the GitHub repository that I downloaded the story from in the description, and I recommend you read it after this video, or pause it right now and go read it. I don't care. I don't plan on getting super in-depth here because A, there isn't a lot of substance, and B, again, I recommend you read it yourself to get a better understanding of any of the plot points. The story begins with Gordon Freeman addressing the player, explaining why he hasn't been in contact with them in a while. He explains that after the death of Eli Vance in Episode 2, called Epistle 2 in the story, he, Alex, and Mossman traveled to the Antarctic to find the Borealis. When they get there, they find out that the Combine is already there and trying to figure out how to get it. It's explained that the Borealis can travel in between both space and time, meaning that it is currently moving in between present-day Antarctica and Aperture Science during the 7 Hours War. Alex and Mossman, upon taking over the ship, argue what to do with it, which ultimately results in Mossman being shot and killed. The remaining crew of the ship fly into the Combine's invasion nexus, rigging it to self-destruct. Just before then, G-Man saves Alex, not Gordon, and the Vortigons save Gordon by just appearing. In the story, it says something about how they pull back the veil of reality, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, read it for yourself. The letter closes with Gordon talking about how he really doesn't know what's happened since he returned, and that a lot of people have forgotten him. At least, that's what I picked up from it. So, that's Epistle 3 by Mark Laidlaw. I don't really have much else to say about it, so yeah. Goodbye.